Hey there, Joel here, and welcome to this online class. Today is the part 2 video of the chapter Tissues of class 9th. And if you haven't watched the first video, I will link it over here in the description box down or on the I button over here. Watch the first video. I will just give you a brief of what we have learned in the first video. We learned about the entire meristematic tissue. Alright, so under that we have lateral meristematic tissue, apical meristematic tissue, and intercalary. So we have seen where it is found and what's the purpose of each of these tissues. Okay. Today what we are going to study is under this plant tissue, we're just going to look at the simple permanent tissue. Let's roll the intro. Under permanent tissue, let us understand what do we mean by permanent tissue. After that, we will see where it is found and which are the subcategories also of it. Okay. Now, the cells formed by the meristematic tissue take up a specific role and lose the ability to divide and form a permanent tissue. When we're discussing in the first video, when I explained to you that we said meristematic tissue is also called as a dividing tissue. Why? Because it helps in the growth of the plant. Now the plant doesn't grow forever, right? Just the way you and me, you will grow probably because you are an adolescent, but once you reach the stage of an adult, you still don't grow taller or you still don't grow more and more, right? You stop at a particular point. Same way, the plant will lose that ability to multiply and grow because finally at one point of time the plant stops growing. It might become stronger, but it will lose the ability to divide. If you can remember, when the plant is small, just germinated, and comparing to a mango tree, maybe a big tree, this plant has a lot of meristematic tissue because of which it is growing. After a certain point of time, when it has almost reached the size of a normal tree, then the dividing will stop and the permanent tissues become more and more active. They become more stronger. Their function increase. So here we're just looking and understanding that the meristematic tissue, after it's done that entire work of it, it loses its ability to divide any further and it stops that, and then it forms a permanent tissue. Then the process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and a function is called as differentiation. So you can be asked, what is the meaning of what is differentiation? So when this process occurs, when the meristematic tissue takes up a permanent function, one of the meristematic tissue takes up a permanent shape and size and a function to do in that plant, right? Someone has to work, right? Maybe at your place you have two or three siblings, and then your mother will assign a particular work. Baba, aaj sogli gor sab korya, tu or room sab kor. The other one will be given some other task to do. So like that, the tissues in the plant also have a specific work to be done. So they will do that. So that process, when it takes up that permanent shape, the size, and the function, it is called as differentiation. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Permanent tissues is classified as simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Already told to you. So, we're studying about the first simple permanent tissue, and that is parenchyma. Okay, so let us understand what is it. A lot of information, I know. That's because you wanted some answers there. Otherwise, I would have put the limited amount of words there so that it becomes easier. But for a few students, it becomes difficult, and I can totally understand. So just try and be with me. Okay, I know there's a lot of information on the slide. Is made up of basic layer of cells. It consists of relatively unspecialized cells with thin cell wall. So what is the characteristic of the parenchyma tissue. Okay, the tissue is made up of cells. I've already told you that. What kind of cells? They're unspecialized cells, and within cell also, which means they're not, they're not an expert in a particular work that they're doing. They're just there, it's like you have a big cafe and then you hire one chef to work over there, and he's just done his studies, so he's not an expert in that field. He's unspecialized for now, studied with education but practically doesn't have much information, so unspecialized. Okay, then this tissue provides support to plants and also stores food. When parenchyma tissue contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis. So this parenchyma tissue, what is the function? What it has to do? It just gives support to the plant and it stores food. We know that plants prepare their own food, right? So after that food is prepared, it has to be stored somewhere. So who helps in storing it? Parenchyma. Now, when this tissue contains chlorophyll, okay, where it is here, one second. Okay, so when this tissue contains chlorophyll within in them, then it can perform photosynthesis. What is the function of parenchyma? Just to give strength to the plant and store food. Next, in aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma to give buoyancy to the plants to help them float in water, and when that happens it is called as parenchyma, air, okay, which is lighter, so it floats. Okay, remember this, that parenchyma tissue in which plants? Only in aquatic plants they have a tiny, air cavities. Now why do you think you require air cavities in such plants? For it to float on water. Otherwise, if there are no air cavities, then it will become heavier and it will sink in the water. We don't want that, right? So in aquatic plants, the parenchyma tissue has air cavity, because of which the air will be, present over there, and it will make the plant lighter, and that's when it is called as parenchyma. We're not talking about a different kind of a tissue. It is a name given to it when it can, it has air cavity, especially in aquatic plants. Next type of a tissue that we are studying is simple permanent tissue under that category, and that is Sclerenchyma. Again, I know the names are completely new to you and studying them for the first time. Please take some time and read the names properly. Okay, so first we have studied about parenchyma. Now we are looking at Sclerenchyma. So let us understand what are the properties that this tissue has. Okay, it is responsible for the flexibility in the plant. So parenchyma was giving strength, Sclerenchyma gives flexibility to the plant, because you must have seen, if you take one, a small twig or a stick of a plant, and if you bend it, it can bend to a particular angle. It doesn't break immediately, right? So why? Because of Sclerenchyma. It gives flexibility to the plant. It is flexible. It can move and bend in any direction. If you notice plants very carefully, there are times when there is one big tree that is growing and a new plant was grown just close to it. So because there is this branches of this tree coming in, this plant will not stop growing. It will just change its course and start growing in a different direction. Why? Is because of Sclerenchyma. What it does, it gives flexibility to the plants. It allows easy bending in various parts of the plant. So the plant can bend easily only because of Sclerenchyma. Where? Leaves and stem. So these are the places that the plant can bend easily without breaking. So it will not break, but it will bend. Then The cells of this tissue are leaving, elongated, and irregularly thickened at the corners. So they are thick at the corner. So if I say that this is a cell, then it is thick over here and thick over here. It is thinner at this region. Why? Is because it has the ability to bend then. Okay, so cells are leaving, they're not dead cells. Okay, they're leaving, they're elongated, means long. Okay, I hope we are clear with this collenchyma tissue. The next simple permanent tissue that we are studying is sclerenchyma. So we studied about parenchyma, we studied about collenchyma, and the third one is sclerenchyma. What are the properties of this tissue? The tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. So knowing that the plant has to be flexible, it has to be strong also, right? It has to be that that firmness has to be there in the plant, otherwise it will be like a creeper. So it has to have that strength. That strength is given by sclerenchyma. Okay, the cells of this tissue are dead cells. They are long and narrow, as the walls are thickened due to lichen. Okay, so remember this also. Again, a kind of a name the following can be asked. The walls are thickened by a chemical, you can say, called as lichen. If you want a very day-to-day example of sclerenchyma, is when you open a coconut, right? You open the entire coconut. Once you remove the sonna kalmanami, that kato which you are talking about is a tissue of sclerenchyma. It's a dead tissue. If you nichodne ke baad, there's nothing coming out. It's just dry. That's the meaning of it. The cells of this sclerenchyma tissue are dead cells. Okay, so if you take a normal plant and squeeze it, you will see at least watery substance moving out from there, right, coming out. So here, in this case, nothing is going to happen. That's because it is a dead cell. Next, it provides strength to the plant part. So it gives strength to the plant. Three tissues we have seen till now: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, and the fourth one is epidermis. That's the last one that we are going to discuss. Is usually made up of single layer of cells. So the layer of cells, it is some of you must have had bibinka. There are many layers for it, right? Together will make up that entire bibinka piece. Now I know some of your mouth might be watering by now. Okay, I like it too. Okay, so let's keep bibinka aside. So it has number of layers. Just like that, once you finish all this layer and you're just left with one layer, you can think of it as epidermis. It is usually made up of single layer of cells. Okay, epidermis of plants in dry has thickened walls. They have thick walls, okay, to protect against loss of water. So we don't want plants to lose water, then it will shrink, right? So you don't want that. So it has thick walls so that the water doesn't immediately move out from there, from those cells. Epidermal cells on the aerial plants. Okay, we are not talking about normal plants which grow in the ground, but which are in the air. Are there plants in the air? What is this Gnani Baba telling us? Plants, aerial plants. Have you seen any plant, or maybe on a coconut tree, something that is just hanging in the air for the entire, the stem of the plant on top? Those could be considered as aerial plants. Okay. Now, in aerial plants, often secrete a waxy, water-resistant layer on their outer surface. Okay, this aids protection against loss of water, mechanical injury, and invasion of parasites like fungi. So certain orchids, you can say, they are plants which are growing on top. Okay, on another plant they will just grow. So because they are aerial plants, they have a waxy coating, so water should not settle them on them. So that's the reason they have a waxy coating. So the moment water falls, it slides off. Okay, that is one. Second, it doesn't allow, because it has waxy coating, the internal water which is there is not able to move out from there. Second, it protects it from mechanical injury. That means maybe some bird is coming and trying to attack something that is mechanical, not some what to say, invasion. You can say invasion by parasites or also fungi. So these different parasites can't settle on it and start eating it because of this waxy coating. Give reason could be asked over here. Okay, so epidermis, that's the purpose. In aerial plants it has a waxy coating. Why it has a waxy coating? The reasons are given on the screen. Okay, so remember all this till here. We studied in the second video only about simple permanent tissue. Is it just there? No. It, the meristematic tissue modifies into simple permanent tissue. Okay, that is what we have studied till now. We learned about 4 different types of simple permanent tissues, and I hope you are clear with whatever we have done. Clear in your mind or out of your mind? I don't know. That will come to know in. So, just a brief information back again so that you know everything is on one slide. We studied simple permanent tissue and all these parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and epidermis, and all the purposes, everything is over here for you to know. Okay, each and everything is given. If you still find something missing and want to read about it, this is the time that you can pause the video and read the entire, all those cells, whatever entire video what we have discussed, understood by till now, can be summed up into this one slide. Okay, you can pause it and read it if you want to. Okay, I hope you are able to understand till now, and if you did, then please don't forget to hit that like button right down there. Okay, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and do let me know what you think. You can comment down whatever you feel like about this video, whether you understood, did not understand, something could have been better, something could have been worse. Please write down whatever you felt, and it's amazing to read when you write some comments, and I feel motivated when I read your comments. So they are like my motivation. So please do comment something, and again, if you did like it, then please do hit that like button. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hey there, Joel here, and welcome to this online class.